Hey guys, what's up? It's Erica. Welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, please make sure to subscribe. It really helps me out. I'm also going to be posting every single day of February as a little experiment on my channel to see how my channel does this month. So for today's video, I'm going to be talking about Poshmark versus Depop. I part-time resell clothes on Poshmark and Depop. I know a lot of people are able to be full-time resellers. I am nowhere close to that. It's more just like a fun side hustle for me. I have been selling on Poshmark for over 7 years, so I feel like I really know that app. And I've been selling on Depop for about the last 2 years. It is not my main place where I like to sell clothes. It just to help like get rid of some inventory and stuff, because I do find that the things that sell on Depop are very different than the things that sell on Poshmark. This is mostly just about the selling experience on each of these apps. Also, I know that Depop has made some recent updates, and I think they've kind of updated it to be a bit more like Poshmark, but honestly, I am still kind of trying to figure out what the updates even are. There are 7 different topics that I'm going to be hitting in this video. The first one is shipping. The second is demographic. The third is user friendliness. The fourth is interaction. The fifth is the home and feed page. 6 are fees. And 7 are brands. First, we're going to talk about shipping, which is one of the biggest differences on these apps. With Poshmark, you can only make sales to people in your own country. And one of my favorite things about Poshmark is how easy it is to ship. Poshmark generates a label. There's no option for another way. You print out your label, you put it on your package, and you drop it off at your USPS, any blue box. So simple. As a Gen Zer, I don't know the mail system well, so that's perfect for me. Just a little side note, last month I made 2 sales and I accidentally switched the labels on them. Poshmark reached out to the buyers and sent them the correct labels to mail them to each other, and it looks like those items are in process to each other. Poshmark is a more protected site, because I'm not really sure if Depop would have stepped in. On Poshmark, maybe once or twice in the past 7 years, I've had an item that like got lost in the mail and Poshmark just refunded the buyer and they gave me my payout. With Depop in the US, you have an option to get like a prepaid shipping label through Depop, or you can ship on your own, which is something that you have to click. So a few times I have forgotten to click that and had to figure out shipping myself. And shipping can be expensive and just like a pain because you have to go to the post office. You also have the option to pay for shipping as the seller or have the buyer pay. I, for the most part, always have the buyer pay for shipping because it can really cut down on your profits. Depop does not do a good job at showing you what your earnings would be after like their fee and shipping and all that. But also Depop does allow you to make international sales. I have not done this. That makes me kind of nervous. I feel like it's probably super expensive and possibly more complicated. The next thing I'm going to be talking about is the demographic. Depop, I would say definitely younger, trendier people. When I was writing my notes for this video, I was thinking probably, you know, like college, high schoolers, and then I realized like I'm too old for that demographic, so I'm just going to go with younger than 30 because I fit under that. So we're gonna call it the cool demographic for Depop. Poshmark, there are definitely younger people on it, but for the most part it's really 30s, 40s, 50s, and older. I feel like it's mostly women on Poshmark. I do feel like there's also more men users on Depop. I don't know if that's actually true, but it just seems like it. So the next topic is user friendliness. I find that Poshmark is super user friendly. I recommend reselling clothes to so many people through Poshmark because it is like genuinely so easy. This is not a Poshmark sponsored ad or anything like that, but you can share your listing, you can share other people's listings. That helps get your stuff in the feed and keep it relevant. Also, when you're listing, it shows you what like your earnings would be after sales tax and Poshmark fee and shipping if you give them a shipping discount and anything. So it's really clear like how much are you going to earn if you sell this for what price. I do find that Depop's listing is somewhat similar to Poshmark's, but it is just a little less. I just find it a bit more clunky. With Poshmark, you have like your item title, then you have a place to describe the item, where on Depop it's kind of just like one big like blob of text. I find like the subcategories and stuff not as great on Depop. You also aren't able to show the original listing price on Depop. I mean, you can include it in your text, but there's not a button to say like, oh, this was the original price. There's also no way to share your listing. So a lot of times like I just go edit and I don't actually edit, but just press save. So then it like makes the item look like it's newer or like recently updated, because that's the only real way I know how to get your items moved up. Then the next point is interaction. On Poshmark, there is no way to privately message anybody. If you want to talk to a buyer or a seller, you have to comment on an item, which to me is kind of annoying, especially if like people want to ask like, oh, would you accept this price? If you say yes in the comments and they don't go through with it, and then somebody can like see the comments and then offer that price, that could just be kind of annoying. But I do love that on Poshmark you're able to send your likers offers. So anybody who's liked your item, you're able to send them a discount if it's 10% or less than the price. It gets pushed out to them. You also have to give them a shipping discount, but this is how I make probably 90% of my sales. Also, anybody can send an offer in on one of your items and you have the options to accept, decline, or counter. So that just makes that whole negotiating a lot easier. On Depop, you are able to private message. All of the bargaining has to be done through the private messaging, which can be annoying. If you agree upon a price in the messaging, then you have to go to your listing and change it to that price. So if that person ends up not buying it, then like your item price has changed, and maybe then you're gonna have to like lower it to the next person that offers or something. I do like that you are able to private message. I wish that you're able to do that on Poshmark. I don't know if it's for like safety reasons or something that they don't allow that on Poshmark. Even just like keeping your buyer updated on like shipping, or if you're out of town and you need like a few days to send it, it'd just be easier if you could just directly message them. The next thing I'm going to talk about are the home and feed pages. Depop has a much more aesthetic and curated home and explore page. I do find that for the most part, people on Depop, they don't follow thousands of people. They follow genuinely shops that they want to buy from. And also they do a really good job at, on their explore page, putting in items that you would most likely be interested in. I feel like Depop is a good place to go on if you have no idea what you're looking for, no idea what you want. They can pretty much tell from like your likes and what you're looking at, like good ideas of other items that you actually might be interested in. Where Poshmark, their home/feed page is literally, it's a mess. Because you're able to share your listings and share other people's, that's all people constantly do. There's also new extensions that have come out where you just like can reshare it. Also, a lot of people on Poshmark follow thousands, 10,000s of Poshmark users just to get followers for their own shop. So I feel like that you can never just go on Poshmark and look through the homepage to find what you want, because it is just flooded with tons of stuff that you probably don't want. But if you do know what you're looking for, it is really easy to like search. Next are the fees. So for Poshmark, for all sales under $15, they take a flat $2.95. For anything over $15, they take 20%. Honestly, that's kind of a lot. If you sell an item for $100, they take $20. Obviously, Poshmark is a business, so they have to make money somehow. But it's definitely something to think about when you are new to the app. But Poshmark does do a really good job at letting you know what your earnings will be at whatever price you have your item listed at. Depop is only a 10% fee. That's crazy because that's like half as much. But up until recently, you could only cash out on Depop through PayPal, and PayPal has their own fees. PayPal has the 2.9% fee and a 49-cent processing fee. Recently, Depop has allowed me to hook up my bank account. So I've actually had some problems where it keeps saying that like it's processing and then it says like it's failed and it hasn't gone through. So I need to look more into that. Even when you still have to use PayPal, the fees for all of that were a lot less than Poshmark. Now the next thing I'm going to be talking about are the brands. On Poshmark, brands are a huge thing. Like I said, Poshmark, you very much have to go on there to search for things. And so if you're looking for something, probably like one of the key things you're going to be searching for are brands. So I'm really aware of the brand of something when I post it on Poshmark. With Depop, there are brands that do well, but also the style, and you can get creative with how you want to take your photos. And if you, for instance, like style an item really well, people honestly, I feel like will buy some really weird, ugly stuff on Depop just because people are like really creative and more funky on Depop, so the brand is a little bit less important. Also, I think there are a good amount of people who sell their own like handmade clothes on Depop, which is really cool. I think Depop honestly has more of like the artistic, creative side, and Poshmark is not so much like that. My final thoughts are, I do prefer Poshmark. There obviously are some downsides like I mentioned, but I have just been selling on there for so long. It has honestly just been a really good app to use. I don't really feel like I've had any issues with like Poshmark as an app or feeling like they scammed me or like got money out of me. I do really like Depop. Depop's fun to look through. There's a ton of really cool inventory on Depop. Just for style inspiration and stuff, it's cool to scroll through. I definitely think as a reseller, it's been nice to have these two platforms because I do feel like the items that sell on Depop are pretty different than the ones that I sell on Poshmark. Like sometimes I will sell something on Depop that I'm like, there was no way I would ever sell that on Poshmark. So I'm glad that I have both of them and that they are different and attract different buyers, different niches. Those are my thoughts on both of the apps. Let me know if you guys have any questions about selling on these platforms. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow in my next video.